There we go. Should work.
Yeah, the sound level's not that brutal. Okay.
All right, cool.
So, you can, I don't know, what's the big changes for this one from, I guess, Rock Band 2 was the last big iteration?
Yeah, well, a lot of the, from a gameplay standpoint, it's similar to Rock Band 2, but we have added 3-part vocal harmonies,
Yep.
which, you know, as we were kind of listening to the Beatles music, making this game, it just became really apparent that it was necessary.
Yeah.
I mean, when you listen to the Beatles, they have these like rich, kind of complex harmonies. So we added that in, which increased the number of people. Now up to 6 people can play. And then also, you know, it's just, I mean, it's similar in a lot of gameplay ways, but I mean, it's very different in the fact that it is like a Beatles game. It's very Beatlesque. You know, we have the 4 guys. The artist worked really hard on that. The dreamscapes. It takes you through the entire, you know, the span of their career, starting in the Cavern Club all the way up to like the rooftop concerts.
So you're gonna follow the world tour as if it was their like starting out kind of thing?
Yeah. So if you play in story mode, you start out in the Cavern Club, which is where they kind of like got their start. And there's what we did was like group songs into like eras.
Okay.
So you'll play like, you know, some of their first hits in the Cavern Club. Then you move on to the Ed Sullivan Theater, then Shea Stadium, then Budokan, then they go into the studio, and then we end on the rooftop. So yeah, I mean, it really, so story mode really like spans from, you know, the very beginning, doing the tour, going to the studio.
So when they're on like the Ed Sullivan stage in that era, you tried to make the song still rank by difficulty a little bit, like you start them out with the easier and then kind of work, because I know like in normal Rock Band 2, that's what, you know, it kind of starts with easy stuff and as you go.
Oh, I see what you mean.
It's ramping up the difficulty.
No, I mean, it's a little bit different because we wanted to, you know, get something like, so for each era we wanted to get like, do sort of like a cross section of that era. So we tried to get like at least one of each guy's song from that era, you know what I mean? So we wanted to do it that way. The other difference too is that this is the first time that we've had. So when you get the game on disc, everything's unlocked. So if you don't want to play in story mode and you just want to like, you know, get it and just start rocking out. Was that to appeal to like, you know, there'll be older fans of the Beatles, obviously, that this will, you know, that they'll. I know some people who are fairly along in years who would see Beatles and just go, oh, yeah,
you know. So that's for them, so they can go straight into everything. Kind of thing.
And I think it's also sort of like a, you know, I think that this is. I mean, all of our games are really social, but I feel like with the Beatles, it does kind of appeal to this like huge section of people that it's almost more of like a party mode kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to, you know, like be the gamer and like get through and unlock everything. You can just like put it in, and the whole family can play it right away.
More than a game
exactly.
Game.
Exactly.
Oh, go ahead.
I have a question about the DLC.
Yes.
When you get the DLC, is that going to be packaged into the career mode into those different eras? Because currently in Rock Band 2, if you download DLC, you can play those downloaded songs in career mode.
So I don't think so, but I'm not positive on that. I can double check though and get back to you guys on that.
Could be like a new theater maybe that you do all the DLC songs.
Well, no, I mean, so you're still like performing the songs in the venues.
Okay.
But like there's new dreamscapes for the DLC, that sort of thing.
Okay.
But I'm just not sure if you can play DLC in story mode. That's the only thing that I'm not sure about. So I'll double check on that. That's actually the first time I've ever been asked that question. So.
Now maybe I missed this. Lego Rock Band, they announced it'll be like, you know, Rock Band 1. You can export the songs out into the main game, so to speak. Does Beatles have that as well, or is it only going to be okay?
Beatles is totally standalone. It's, you know, we kind of felt like the music and the game sort of deserve that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, everything is. We created this like really complex Beatles world.
It's a big one to have.
Exactly.
Yeah, I understand why it would be. Okay. Is there standalone game without all the instruments, like literally just the disc, if you already have your instruments?
So you can buy just the disc, and it is compatible with like, you know, it's compatible with Rock Band, it's compatible with Guitar Hero. If you have SingStar mics, compatible with that. So.
I only buy Rock Band stuff, don't worry.
Good. I like hearing that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I know that there's going to be a lot of treats for the Beatles fans.
Yes.
As far as unlockables.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans on adding unlockables to the DLC? Some of those, the special artwork and all that stuff as well.
That's not something that I've heard any plans about. But I mean, it's something worth thinking about for sure. But yeah, there is a lot. There is a lot in there for like the hardcore Beatles fans.
Yeah, I know they haven't included it all.
Yeah.
But they definitely had a lot. I know there was that Christmas album they were talking about.
Which have you heard that?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God, it is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like they just kind of like make up words to Christmas carols. It's so like the first time I heard it, I was like just like standing there like, oh my God, this is great. This is great.
When you guys were making these, did you have access to like every possible song or was it like they give you a set catalog and you had to pick and choose out of?
No, I mean it was so the whole game was a really collaborative effort, and as far as song selection goes, we worked with Giles Martin, who's the son of Sir George Martin, at Abbey Road Studios, and we wanted to sort of. We didn't want to make this like a greatest hits thing, you know what I mean?
I'm sure they wanted certain songs in like to get.
Well, it was. I mean, it was actually like I said, it was really collaborative. Like we, went to them with an idea of like, this is. We both had the same idea. Like we want this to span the entire era. We want it to, span across all four guys, that sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, it was.
Oh yeah, because what works best in Rock Band, it has to be you try and make it the most band friendly.
Well, that's the other thing.
Like a solo song or only two instruments would be a little.
So that's why for example, like people are like, oh, where's Hey Jude? And it's like Hey Jude is like that's not really a guitar. You know what I mean? That's.
Right, yeah.
So it'll be there on DLC, but it's.
Now, are there plans to ultimately release all of the albums and all of the songs in DLC?
We've announced the first three, and that's kind of all we're saying about it right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love my Rock Band. I would wish you could export, but I'll be happy just to play.
Well, that's
yeah. So, no, that's good. Is there any changes for? I guess I'm actually looking. I just noticed the 3 mic thing. You got the different cymbals now for this one.
Yeah.
So all of the actual instruments. Now, as far as I recall, if you buy the set with the drums and the guitar, you don't get the bass though. That's sold separately or something.
So the bundle, the limited edition bundle, comes with the Hofner bass.
Okay.
The drums, a mic and a mic stand.
Yeah.
And the disc.
Okay, so not the guitar.
Yeah. So the Gretsch and the Rickenbacker are the ones that are sold separately.
Okay. Yeah. And will those be sold separately in stores or only from like rockband.com?
No, those will be in stores. Like you can go pick those up at Best Buy or whatever. And that was sort of like I said, the game is compatible with all your other instruments, but it was sort of like I don't know. There's something really interesting about playing John's guitar parts on John's replica guitar. You know what I mean? So it was kind of cool, and we've actually heard from people who were like, oh, I'm just gonna get the instruments and hang them on my wall. They're just so they're just so cool. So
well, that's a good time now. It's been a year since Rock Band 2, so people's instruments are getting a little beat up. Some of them.
Yeah, you can always use an excuse to go get more, right?
My friend Jeff, I can't even use his guitar anymore. I have to bring mine over.
Oh, really?
It's wrecked. No, okay. I don't know what else.
I got one last question.
Okay.
Is there any surprises left for the Beatles fans that you haven't unveiled yet?
So I think that when you get the game home and you play through it and you kind of so there's all this lore around the Beatles, you know what I mean? And it's we couldn't make this game without some little, there's definitely a lot to experience. And if you're a Beatles fan, I think you'll be able to look at the game and look at the dreamscapes and go, oh, right. And then, of course, with the unlockables, I mean, it's, there's
Is there a
tons of
Yoko
stuff.
Ono moment or something in there?
No, we centered this just around the guys.
Okay. Oh, no, it sounds good. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. So have you guys gotten a chance to play?
No, I haven't.
Okay, cool. But yeah, you should totally do that.
Okay.